Hey everybody, it's Patricia and welcome back to my channel. It's time for another Chatty Get Ready With Me. If you are new here, what I do is I just put on my makeup, tell you what's going on in my life. Sometimes I tell you what I'm doing with makeup and sometimes I don't. So let's get started. I've got my zits are slowly going away. They're just like ghosts of a zit now, you know what I mean? So yeah, let's get started. I've already done my skincare and put my primer on. I have had an interesting weekend. I'm gonna start with that. Friday, I felt so good. I felt the best that I have in years, and I am not joking, and I'll go into that a little bit more here in a minute. But I felt so good, and so I went to Walmart, I went to some thrift stores Friday evening. We ended up at our local Chinese restaurant, which is Ming's. We do like Ming's, but we decided to go in and eat the buffet. Usually we call in an order and go pick it up, because when you do that, I get 4 meals. I kid you not, that carry-out box is just bulging. I get 4 meals from one carry-out meal. So that's usually what we do, but we decided to go in and eat the buffet, and it was good. Their food is delicious. So we had the buffet and everything was good. Went home, everything was fine. Early Saturday morning, it hit. I got food poisoning from the Chinese buffet. Oh man, it wasn't like really bad. I had food poisoning once about 30 years ago, where I spent 3 days in the bathroom floor. I was so sick. This wasn't that bad. This was just a touch. I must have ate maybe, only thing I think of is I ate some coconut shrimp that Brian and Nathan did not eat that dish. I'm thinking that's what it is. And maybe one of the shrimp was starting to go bad, because who knows how long it sat there on that buffet, you know? Whatever. I was sick. I was sick all day Saturday. And finally about, I don't know, Saturday evening about 5 or 6, I think it was all out of my system. So it went quickly, but while you're going through it, it couldn't have gone, you know, quicker. I would have liked to have gone even quicker. I don't think I even need to cover up those zits. The foundation did it good. So yeah, that was my Saturday. And then this is Monday. As you know, I film on Monday. On Sunday was Oscar, and my son and I watch him every year. I watched him every year since I can remember. It's just a ritual for me, and now my son's part of that because he is so into movies. So we watched the Oscars, and I just crocheted yesterday and just kind of took it easy, kind of recovering from the food poisoning. So yeah, that was my weekend. And did you guys see the Oscars? Do you care? I know a lot of people don't even care. Everyone won that I expected to, except for Best Actress. I didn't think Emma Stone was going to win, but she did, and I was glad. I really like Emma Stone, and I liked her performance in Poor Things. So I was happy with that. I really wanted the Ken song to win, but it didn't. But it was the most enjoyable part of the evening. I did like Jimmy Kimmel's hosting. I think he did an excellent job. He made some jokes that kind of, but I think he did an excellent job. And then I liked how they did the actor and actress categories, where they had 5 different actors or actresses that had won in that category to, you know, talk about who is nominated. I really enjoyed that part. I hope they keep that up. I think that should be that should be a new thing. I did really enjoy that. So, yeah, all in all, I give the Oscars an A. It was good. Some jokes were a little, some jokes were very funny. Yeah. But I did enjoy it. All right, let's see. Now, let's talk about something else that happened on Saturday, and then we'll go into my health. Saturday, laying in bed, sick. My dog just made a noise. You know, he's behind me. I was laying in bed sick, and Brian was just laying on the bed next to me, just, I guess, moral support. He was reading. And also, he was taking care of me. He's always taking care of me. But I heard a boom. We both did. We heard like an explosion. And then the whole house just shook and rattled. You could hear the glass just rattling. And I'm like, what is that? I was halfway expecting, well, more than halfway expecting, to hear sirens then. Like, you know, something blew up. I thought maybe a building blew up, you know, gas line or something, which had me thinking, because I have gas. I cook, you know, with gas. My heat's with gas. So I was like, oh, no. But, so I was just waiting to hear no sirens, nothing. So I'm like, okay. So Brian said, I'm going to go out. That was about 9:30 Saturday morning. He says, I'm going to go get Nathan and me something to eat and grab us a pizza for dinner, a frozen pizza for dinner. And I'm going to get you some crackers and, you know. And I was like, yeah, whatever. So when he come back, he told me it was an earthquake. I guess people were talking about it. It was an earthquake. It was a 2.8. And I know we have earthquakes here. And I know there's been earthquakes since I've moved here, but I haven't personally felt one. That was the first one I felt. But when we went, when we first moved here and went to get our homeowner's insurance and everything, switched to South Carolina, our agent said, you might want to think about earthquake insurance. She says it's not a lot per year. I mean, it is like $17 or something. She says, but it probably will come in handy because we have earthquakes here. She says, we've had a big one in the last few years. Not huge, but there was a bigger one here. So I'm like, well, okay, let's do it. And over the year, I've been thinking, do we need that earthquake insurance? And I think, well, maybe we do. Maybe we'll just hang on to it. Because, yeah, we've had, I forgot what the news said. We've had at least 10 earthquakes since January 1st. A lot of them very small, not insignificant, you know, nothing. But I did feel this one. And my house did shake. I definitely felt it. So, 2.8. So, there we go. That was our little Saturday excitement. But I thought I'd talk to you about my health. There's a lot of... Yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of us closing on this house, which I was so excited about at the time, but I couldn't... I was so excited about it before it happened, but things happened in my life that I just... And those of you who've not been with me that long, there are a few of you, you know who you are, who know the whole story. So I'm going to go back and work my way forward. 5 years ago Christmas, this past Christmas, I had my first cancer surgery, day after Christmas. Before I go any farther, I want to use this palette I got in my Ipsy bag for February. Can I open it? There we go. We're going to use this. I do need something to go with it. I still have this palette out that I was panning. And I'm going to, look, no pan. We'll keep on in that one. Sorry. like dominoes. You hit one thing and it all falls down. My desk is not badly cluttered. Just all the things I'm using is just sitting right here. So I hit my spray, which knocks over my concealer. Because I don't know why I can't lay my concealer down. I have to. So they're standing up like dominoes. Along with this. It's just not. We're just not. Okay. Okay. Let me get back to my story. 5 years ago, had my first cancer surgery. Breast cancer. My doctor, my GP, he told me, oh, if you've got to have breast cancer, this is the one to have. This one's going to be so easy for you. It's going to be a piece of cake. You're not going to have any problems. So, have the surgery. Great surgeon. I highly recommend Dr. Michelle LeBlanc. If you're in Asheville, North Carolina, highly recommend her. She is the best. She did my first surgery. You couldn't even tell I had surgery. My breast looked absolutely normal. I don't even think I was going to have much of a scar. And it looked just a little smaller than the other one. But it looked, you would have not known I had had a lumpectomy. Until I didn't have clear margins. You have to have clear margins. They take the area with the tumor that mine was. They weren't knots. They weren't tumors. You didn't feel anything. They were just like little spots that showed up on my mammogram. She cut all around those areas and areas around it. And you have to have so much of an area without cancer around that for you to have clear margins, and I didn't. It was still cancer all the way to the end, which means there's probably more cancer in there. So the day before Valentine's Day, I had my second surgery, which took even more tissue out. I was a double D. My breast is now probably a small C. So let me get going in here. I'm going to go with this shade right here, and I'm going to put that in my transition area. So yeah, I had the surgeries. The second surgery, had clear margins, good to go. Time for radiation. I had 6 weeks of radiation every day. Yeah, 6 weeks of radiation every day. My poor body looked like it had badly sunburned. Although I did everything they said. They actually told me they could tell I was doing everything and putting all the creams on and what was it, Aquifer. Doing all the things, and it wasn't as bad as some. They said it was probably as good as you're going to get with having radiation injected into your body for 6 weeks. So had that done, but while radiation was going on, I had a hematoma pop up in that breast. Can't do anything while you're having radiation. You can't do anything. So I had this hematoma in my breast. I called the surgeon. I am going to go in with this color right here and work it in my crease. Call my surgeon, go in to see her after I'm done with radiation. She sticks a needle in that hematoma and pulls out all this, tons of fluid. I forgot how many cc's. I should have written it down. Does it really matter? No. But she pulled out a ton of fluid out of my breast. I'm like, okay. She did that on, I think it was like a Thursday or a Friday. I can't remember. It was Thursday or Friday. Sunday morning, I woke up. Well, the next day, the breast filled back up. I could tell. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to have to go back to the surgeon. I'd already made plans. But then that Sunday morning, I woke up. And it had burst open. And my whole gown was drenched. And I had a fever. So we went first thing Monday morning, and I had an infection. It did burst open. I had an open wound. She kind of dressed it a little. She said, I don't have the supplies to do this here. The things you need, we got to get you into wound care, and we got to get you into wound care now. Okay, that looks pretty. I'm going to go with, let's do this color right here. Let me find a brush. So, I go to wound care. My open wound is 8 centimeters? 8 centimeters deep. It's deep. They pack it. And it is just as bad as you think it is. They pack it. The worst part, Brian had to pack it and change it every day. I might cry during parts of this. Oh. So anyway, we started with that. I was going to wound care 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The packing wasn't working. I can't remember how long we tried just the packing before the decision was made to attach a wound vac. They had to order a wound vac for me. And you rent them, in case you want to know. You're not buying it, you're renting it. I mean, what would I do with a wound vac? I am going to go with, while I'm still thinking, I'm going to go with this one in the middle with a detail brush and just kind of line under my eyes with it. So, they attach the wound vac. I still have to go 3 times a week. And the good thing is Brian is not packing it. They take the wound vac off. They kind of clean everything up, get everything ready, pack it back like it's supposed to be, attach the wound back again. I'm straddled with this machine attached to my breast that I can charge up. Wear it like a bag. Charge it up. But I have to be near electricity when that thing starts wearing out, and I've got to charge it back up again. I was saddled with a machine attached to my breast for months. I went nowhere but wound vac. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I got to know the people there so well. I'm going to go in with this that I put in my crease. I'm going to take a small detail brush and I'm going to put that on the inner corner of my eye here. Just a little, get some color in here. So, that wound vac was not fun, but it did finally work. I was drinking protein shakes like you would not believe. Doing everything I could just to get that to heal. And then I'm going to go in, let me stick my finger in this gold. That's a pretty kind of a coppery. I'm going to use it and put it in the center of my eye here. So that went on until finally we could take the wound vac off and back to packing and changing the dressing every day. Brian got really good at it. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have him, because I could not. It was here. I could not do it myself. It's something that I could not. I couldn't have done by myself. I'm going to take a little bit of this mustard color just because it's here, and I'm trying to think of where I might want to put it. I'm afraid if I put it, I'm going to put it in the inner corner. Highlight here. Just a little bit. I don't really think that did much. That's okay. I used every shade. This is a nice little palette. It's the shadows are really, they're good quality. I'll put my little highlight up there. Yeah. So, but I'll continue my story when I get back. I'm going to go put my mascara and liner on, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So, I was talking about the wound vac and the wound care, and I finally got all of that taken care of and the wound healed. This came, I think, this was in my Ipsy. It is a blush that I want to use. I'm going to be very sparingly with it. It's a pretty shade. It looks darker in my viewfinder than it looks in person here on my face. Let's get that rubbed in a bit. I think that's okay. This is Born Ruby Oh So Natural Blush Drops in Peach Charmeuse. Charmeuse. Where's my wet side? Here it is. I just want to tone that down a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to put some bronzer on. So, I get done with wound care, and I am free as a bird. The only thing I'm doing is my tamoxifen, which is just hell. It makes, the side effects are so bad. Every joint in your body hurts. My hair starts falling out. It can cause blood clots. Knock on wood, that's one side effect I did not get. I did not get blood clots. But I pretty much got everything else. And I just felt so bad all the time. And just, I hurt all the time. I felt sick all the time. But then COVID came. And I was terrified of catching COVID. I mean, absolutely beyond belief terrified of catching COVID, because my immune system was so low and people were dying. And I knew I was in a very weakened state in my health. We'll put some bronzer on. This is Urban Decay Beach Bronzer in Sunkissed. I feel like I look a little pale, maybe. So I was stuck in my house a year. When they finally got the vaccine out, I was like, yes, I'm taking the vaccine. I want my life back. So got the vaccines, felt like going out again, but Brian lost his job, so that meant let's move. Let's find somewhere where we can get more house for our money. Bigger house. We need more room. You know, we moved to Camden, South Carolina. And I was so excited about moving. Selling our house and moving. I'm going to put some highlighter on. I'm using the Ofra in Rodeo Drive. So we packed up our house and moved in with my in-laws. It ended up taking longer than I thought. We were there 7 months with my in-laws, which I am not complaining. They were so good to us. And I was still, the effects of the tamoxifen and everything else, I'm not, you know, moving around that well. And my mother-in-law was bad too. Not bad. She would get things for me. She would do things for me. You just sit there, let me do that. Let me get this. And she's a little 5'2" ball of energy. She just goes. And that's not a bad thing. And so I spent a good 7 months not really doing anything. And that did put a toll on my body that I wasn't expecting. And then we bought this house. And my brother got sick. He got sick at Christmas. he got COVID, put him in the hospital, got him out of the hospital, got him in a facility. He didn't want to be there. I told him I couldn't take care of him. He didn't want to be there. He went home. I said, I can't take care of you. I can't physically take care of you. I can't do this. So after a couple days at home, he falls and breaks his hip. Ends up in the hospital. And then he just goes downhill. It just spirals downhill. I remember yesterday was 1 year anniversary of our closing on this house. We bought this house 1 year ago yesterday. And I wanted to be so excited about buying this house. And in the middle of the closing, I had to excuse myself. My phone was ringing. It's about my brother. In the middle of moving, literally, I'm on the road moving from one house to the other. I get the call my brother's passed away. And so I could not enjoy moving into my home. Our realtor, best realtor in the world, Jill, she's amazing. If you ever want to move to the Columbia area, let me know. She is amazing. She left a bottle of champagne on our counter. She came over the day of closing. She drove all the way over here. I say all the way. We're 30 minutes from Columbia. She drove over here, went through the house one more time, checked everything to make sure everything was in order before we signed on the dotted line. That's a good real estate agent. But while she was here, she left us a bottle of champagne and a card. That champagne is still sitting. It's in my fridge. It's in the door of my fridge. We haven't opened it because we haven't felt like celebrating. Mainly because, you know, my brother died and then he left no will. And then I've been spending the last year trying to get moved into this house, which I am. I mean, my boxes are all unpacked except for my craft boxes are in my craft closet. And I'm going to have to pull those suckers out just to find things. About having anywhere to set that stuff up. It goes right back in a box and in the closet, unfortunately. But we're moved in. Bride's got a job. I actually feel like I live here now. And I ended up turning my brother's estate over to the courts. And I can't do this. So the court system, I guess, has handled it because I got a refund check in the mail where I had paid a portion of one of my brother's bills. And they mailed me a refund check because the court paid the bill in full. That's the only thing I have heard since I turned all of that over to the court. Is it done? I hope so. I hope I've done everything I could and we're finished. I haven't heard anything. I guess no news is good news. I'm going to accept it that way. That's done. I'm off my tamoxifen. And Friday was the first day I could tell I had not an ache or pain anywhere in my body except the existing bad knee I already had. But Friday, I could stand up off my couch. I could get up out of a chair without just my whole body hurting and not being able to move. I can step up on a curb. You just don't know. You just don't. Stepping up on a curb. I've not been able to really do that. I have been in so much pain and felt so sick. For 5 years, I have been sick. And I finally, and then I get food poisoning. So my goal this week is to not be sick. I don't want a headache. I don't want a stomach ache. I don't want a pain anywhere. If my existing bad knee wants to hurt, it is allowed to. I've had that bad knee for years. The rest of me, no. I'm not going to be sick. Unbelievable. I've been sick 5 years. I've been trying to do this channel for 5 years. And nobody really knows how sick I felt at times. How I've not been able to live or do anything. I'm going to use this lipstick from Real Her. The color is Mauve. Celebrate diversity. This was in my Ipsy. But I am just, I think I'm out the other side of this 5-year battle that started with cancer. It's basically all cancer related. Getting cancer and having surgery, the surgery part is the easiest part. It's the treatment that'll kill you. In my opinion. I think I have an opinion. That's my opinion. Alright, there's my finished look. Here's to no more sickness, no more illness, no more aches and pains, no more hair falling out, no more of all the bad stuff, and only good stuff from now on. Guys, thank y'all for listening to me rant, but I just wanted to share, now that I'm on the other side of the tamoxifen, I realize how bad I was feeling, how sick I was. You can still hear I have leftover COVID. COVID's gone. Just leftover voice issues and stuff, but yeah, finally. 5 years. 5 years of dealing. And I don't want it anymore. I refuse to be sick anymore. So, guys, thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I'd love it if you would subscribe. Any questions or comments, just leave them down below. Guys, again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all. And I will see you next time.